Haha. Yeah, Jared, I see that you're watching on Facebook. Come jump in here and chat. I just dropped the link there. What now? I'm talking to myself. Let's see. Now let me share this to all the places. Where are we sharing this to? The Facebook group. Boom. Boom. There we go. Let's see here. Who else is watching on Facebook? Y'all come chop it up. Let me get this thing sent out to other places too. So what happens when you take 2 days off in a row? Everything falls down. Consistency is everything. Let's see who else we can get in. You love it when your private money partners say, I love the direction that we're heading. That's what we want to hear from our partners for sure. Okay, we got to share it in the Facebook group. Now let me share it in the community group. Not that one. See if we can get Eddie and them in here. I know Eddie started his new gig here. Let's see. Aaliyah, can you chat? So you're in here, Aaliyah. There. Speak of the devil, look who just joined. Eddie, what's up, brother? I know you got this. Gonna make you rejoin real quick. Rejoin as a panelist. What up? You're on mute. Can't hear you. Oh, you might be working. You working? I see, I see. Go ahead. So let's see you close some car deals while you're at it. Well, cool, bro. Let's get some other folks up in here. Maybe Daniel? Where's Daniel at? Let's see. So what happens when you take 2 days off? You go live every day, and then you take 2 days off, and then everybody's like, "Oh, I thought you stopped doing it." Trying to get everybody around in here. Left my headphones at home. Gotcha, gotcha. So that means everybody get to listen. Oh, I don't want to do that. Aaliyah, can you chat with me?
Hey, yeah.
Well, good. So what happens when we take days off? Isn't that crazy how quickly we lose momentum? But the good news is, starting next week, we'll have all the new Dealmaker students in here as well. So Anna's getting that organized. So we'll get all the new students to be joining these every day and actually have some people to talk to. So that'll be good for us. See if we can get Jared to jump in here and chat with us. Somebody wants to talk. Let's talk about the Facebook bandit strategy. If we get Jared in here, we'll break down, or anybody really, but Jared had specifically been asking us about the Facebook bandit strategy. See if we can get him in here. Some other folks that can chat. Let's see here.
How do you play that strategy?
Well, so we actually haven't talked about it in a few weeks since we have had some ripples in the waves. I really want to get some folks in here before you dive into it because I want to have somebody to engage with. I think he'll probably jump in here. Who else can you invite? We got about 5 more minutes. See if we don't get anybody else in here. Might just end up calling it for the day because Lord knows I got plenty of things I could be doing. That's for sure. Calls left and right, deals to be done. Zero post reach. Slade me. Well, nobody wants to come to play today. Let's see. Jared's typing. See if he's going to be able to join us. Let's see. Our live stream makes or breaks on this. We're going to get somebody to come chat or not. He said he needs the passcode. Aaliyah, do you know the passcode for this meeting somewhere? Oh, I think I got it right here on the boom. All right. We're gonna get Jared in here.
I stepped outside. Is it loud out here?
No, you're good, brother. How are you doing?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Didn't take a day off yesterday. Now it's like a lot of things to catch up, but I feel a lot better, a lot more recharged after taking a little time.
I know I actually slept in, no gym today. I picked up my
Good time.
buddy that moved down to Florida, one of my best friends. Picked him up at the airport last night, and neither one of us really celebrated for our birthdays, so we ended up celebrating for our birthdays together last night.
Nice. When was your birthday?
September 19th.
Oh, nice. Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well, you look cleaned up. You got a haircut. You got a beard shape up since we started.
Yeah, the wife trimmed it up.
There we go. Looking clean. I did too. Finally, it's for my
Yeah.
birthday yesterday, so I got to do something.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but
I
yeah,
think Danny's gonna free up in a second here. He just messaged.
cool. Perfect. Yeah, man, I'm excited for what we got going. I'm glad to have you and Danny kind of growing with the community, what we got going as well. Anna is really going to be such a valuable piece to what we got going on. I've needed someone to really lead that piece and get it moving. I've had some great conversations already this morning with some of our private money partners and people that are really investing into what we're doing here. And everybody is super excited for the direction that everything is headed. So, I can't complain. It's been a interesting week to say the least, but now here as we look to move forward through the rest of the month of October, everything's getting to rocking. We've really dialed in our Facebook ads with my partner William. He is really a beast at that and has really just made it so that our lead quality from the inbound Facebook stuff is way higher. We were doing cheaper, more volume. I said, hey, let's go higher price, more dialed in, and that's definitely been better for us. We have had the SMS tool working for 3 days in a row, and it has been weeks since that has happened. I have been, as some of y'all know, working very hard at getting that thing fixed, but it's working. We are actually not only going to be obviously kicking things off with another round of students starting Monday with the tool working efficiently and getting stuff started, but we are also going to begin to sell our CRM, our Deal Maker CR. It's actually called Deal Maker OS. Look, at speak of the devil, we got William here as well, the man behind the plan with paid advertising as well. So it's good to see people jumping in here. Jared, what's up, bro? Oh, and then he fell off as soon as I called him out.
He got scared.
Yeah, right. William, what's up, dude?
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah, man. You want to do the video or you just go to the voice?
Yeah, I can do the video. I don't think it's letting me right now.
Let me see. Promote to panelists. See if that works for you.
Hey, brother, how's it going, man?
There he is. What's up, dude? How you
What's up,
doing?
dude? No, I saw you. I saw the live right now. I was like, dude, let me check this out. And I was like, man, let's get on this.
There we go. Love to see it. Love to see it, dude. I literally just mentioned you like 30 seconds ago.
I heard something about the paid ads. I was like, oh man, let me just jump on and see if I can add some input, answer some questions that people might have. And then
Yeah, For sure, dude, because we've been definitely seeing a steady increase in the quality of the leads. Right now, it's on me and you a lot about dialing in markets and where we want to hit, but like the
Sure.
pain points are there, the motivation is there for a lot of people. Obviously, we're going to start to filter out some of the more market ready leads, try to really key in on the motivation. But I guess first off, man, why don't you tell people about yourself? Introduce
Yeah,
yourself.
so I am also in the subject community as well as owners club. So I'm an active real estate investor in the Tampa Bay area, primarily buying and holding, short-term rentals, co-living spaces, multifamily Section 8s. My buy box is big. As long as it's a good deal, I underwrite, I'll purchase it myself. And that's why, I linked up with G Money Garrett. We're both lead gen guys background. We both came from the gym space. I own a kickboxing gym out in the Tampa Bay area. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
really connected fast from that aspect of things. He's the branding, as you guys can tell by his personality. He is going to be out there talking. I'm more of the, hey, let's do the marketing back end. My goal is to make sure that, Garrett and his team, they're generating not just direct response leads, which is great, but I want to build a marketing system where, his branding, his voice, and his message is going to be able to compel people to want to work with him, even if he offers a lower price to homeowners. Because with the homeowners, a lot of them, they're getting bombarded. When they fill out these quotes or these, ads on Facebook, Google, X, Y, and Z, their information is typically sold out to, hundreds of different companies. I wouldn't say hundreds, but their information is being sold to a lot.
Yeah.
Their phone is being rung on a daily basis, especially the ones with the highest motivation. We're talking about the inherited properties or the foreclosure ones. They're not going to want to pick up the phone. They shut off completely. So how do we build that rapport and branding on the back end, right? That's a true marketing propaganda, as I like to call it. Can we create videos, informational products with, Garrett and his lady to basically explain to them why, hey, we are local buyers. We're going to help you out with your situation, right? You should give us a call instead. So we're going to be expecting a lot more on the back end. Most of the people that won't convert on day one, but I want them to convert later on, right?
That's
Yeah, that's kind of
That's the
why.
power of branding, dude. I love that, and I've really begun to clarify my role lately, right? Like I've always been a lead gen guy, mostly through cold outreach and brand development, right? Never like I've honestly, and this is kind of, I guess, kind of an interesting stat. In my probably 5 years running the agency, never spent a dollar on paid ads to generate an agency client. It was all done through who I am and the way that I present on social and the way that brings people back in. Now, as we begin to move forward more and more with Deal Makers Academy and really Deal Makers as an overarching brand, it's beginning to break into many different things, right? But with Deal Makers Academy specifically, I'm very focused on leadership and all of those things. So having people like Will here to just be an expert at what he does and like crush it for us, right? Is incredibly valuable, So we're actually also dropping, I know you know this, William, we're dropping our CRM next week. Finally, everything is working smoothly. So we're going to begin to give people access to this mass texting platform as well. And actually, you and I need to talk a little bit more about how we can integrate their ability to request a paid ad campaign or maybe even do pay per lead straight from the platform itself. Because for me, it's all about ease of access. I want people to be able to come to one place with our CRM where they can do everything, what it totally entails in regards to being a deal maker, not just lead generation or not just dispo, but really the whole process that pulls it all together. So we definitely need to build a little bit more into that. So we got to chat more about that soon.
No, for sure, brother. It's nice
Love
seeing you.
it.
Happy birthday, by the way. I know it was yesterday, but
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was good to take the day off a little bit, man. I don't do that much. At least not right now. Everybody like talks to me about how much I work. It's not like I love to work all the hours that I do, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes right now to get to what we're looking at long term, right? So if it means I got to work 60 hours a week sometimes, I'm gonna work the 60 hours a week. Do I enjoy it all the time? Not necessarily. But now that we got more and more power players coming around, it gets easier and easier for me to pass things off to people that I can trust, and my life gets easier. So we're getting closer there for sure.
no, for sure, brother. Let me know what I can help you out with. If there's any questions for anybody that want to
Yeah, I
ask,
was gonna
big,
say
like,
that.
pay lead gen questions, feel free. I'm gonna be just chilling in the background, and
Yeah,
I'll
for
let you
sure.
take over, Garrett.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you swinging by. And like I said, any questions for William? You guys want anything about paid ads? You can drop it right here. We can run it down. I did see a question here from Jordan. There you go. She moved it over here as well. How many calls or texts should I be making daily? So I care more about conversations versus just a number of calls, right? When you look at a cold outreach perspective, the better data you get, the better list you're calling, the more conversations you'll have, right? So my man Tim Winfrey, he talks about 100 a day being the minimum that we need to hold people to. And I would love to hold people to that minimum standard, but not everybody has the actual chunk of time it takes to make 100 calls a day. What I would focus on, Jordan, is how many people am I actually speaking to, first off? And then out of every 10 people that I speak to, how many am I converting into actual leads or opportunities? And then you can begin to track your own KPIs. So maybe you only have to make 30 calls to have those 10 conversations, but then you're like, hey, I want to have 100 calls in a day. I want to have three. I want to get 3 of them, right? So you can always double that down. I mean, it's not always about total volume of calls. It's more about conversations. Texting, the reason why I love the texting platform that we've got built out is because it gets people to raise their hand. Hey, I saw you own this property. Are you interested in selling it all? Hey, yes, I am. And now, boom, we get on the phone with them, right? So that's obviously a much better conversation. When you get into that call, you might be on there for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour and a half. You might close that deal right there in that call. Maybe not early on as a beginning wholesaler. But what you got to understand is that if that one lead takes you 1 hour, but it's like the deal that you closed this week, it's worth more than the other 99 calls that you were going to make that day, right? So the better you get at lead generation, this is why it comes down to lead generation. Everybody talks about all the other stuff, but if you can generate the right leads and begin to have the right conversations, everything else gets easier after that. So I would focus on that KPI more. Let's see, Daniel, you feel free to jump in and chat if you want to, Daniel, as well. You don't have to just type it out here. Allowed to talk. Let me see what you said. Make a realistic goal. Doesn't make you feel stressed. I've done anywhere from 50 to 150. Yes. So, Will mentioned the gym days. I mention it all the time here on live. I had a minimum of 50 calls a day that I had to make when I was in the gym. And I also took around 6 to 10 in-person gym tours every day as well. Right now, what I'll tell you is I many times would just fake the calls after a while. So like the reason why I don't always tell people about the total number of calls is because you're just going to end up trying to like dial for a certain number instead of focusing on quality conversations. That's really what's way, way more important. So I would end up in my gym days in my Gold's Gym era, I would basically just make as many calls as I needed to get to my 3 contracts a day. And then I was just going to click through and fake the rest of the numbers. I don't want you to click through and fake the rest of the numbers. Let's focus on the 3 that we really need to get to instead of the total volume of calls. But the only other point I'll say to that, Jordan, is that the more that you have conversations with people early on in your journey, the easier it will be long term. So like the biggest advantage of working in the gym is that I spoke to thousands of people. Over the 3-year period that I ran corporate gyms, I sold thousands. I would sell like between 100 and 150 gym memberships a month myself. And then I would generally have 2 sales reps underneath me doing about half of that each. So we would sell 300 memberships a month. Like I was working with a lot of people. So there was never any conversation that I ever faced through the rest of my life that ever put pressure on me in a way that I didn't feel prepared to respond. No matter who sits across the other side, I've taken every possible objection that people can hit you with. And of course, I've since moved into different sales. So I've experienced higher ticket objections and more ways to overcome. But the reason why I'm confident in all delivery now is because I spoke to a lot of people then, right? So the more repetitions you get in now, the better. The benefit for you and for others as well is that you don't have to worry about the things that you don't know. The reason why I love real estate is the collaborative nature of this industry. We can all work together. So I, as a lead gen guy, don't have to worry about being a master closer, right? I can partner with other people. My man, Garen, who is an incredible resource that kind of behind the scenes from this community, also leads his own community, has an awesome sales team, right? They average above 30K on most of their deals. they're beasts, right? So now I could try to take the time it takes to get all my repetitions in to become that much of an expert at real estate, or I can partner with somebody that's already doing that, because everybody has their own role in this process, right? A lot of times I think, and William, I'm sure you encounter some of these people when you're selling your service and stuff. A lot of wholesalers early on don't have that understanding, right? Like they are trying to do it all by themselves. They're trying to generate the lead. They're trying to get on and close it. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that, instead of like actually doing their one piece, finding the lead flow, partnering with somebody like yourself who like, hey, I can bring you all the leads you need. Don't worry about cold calling. I've got inbound leads for you. You just focus on closing deals, and then somebody else who dispose it, right? Instead of trying to play three different parts, focus in on your lane. And so as a beginning wholesaler, understand that that really means you're a marketer. Hang with me, right? So wholesaler just means marketer for the most part, right? That means I'm going to generate some leads and then I'm going to move forward. If you can generate leads, there's plenty of other people that will help you close it early on. Once you see them close the first few deals, and this is the benefit of Dealmakers Academy, is that you'll get to work with people that are doing these deals. You'll get to watch their call recordings. We have daily trainings by these people that you can get into and actually learn how to close it yourself. Some of you will catch on quick, right? And you'll have that sales thing in you and you'll just run with it fast, right? Some of you might find, I don't want to do that. Guess what, guys? I don't want to do that. I totally like understand the whole process. I work with every piece of my team that does this, but I'm not going to get on seller phone calls. It's not my job. It's not my role, right? So I think as I dealt with some headaches, I realized, continue more clarity over this week. What we're really leading here, and what a lot of you will continue to find the most value from me, is how you generate leads and then don't have to do anything else to make money. That's what I think people are really learning the most from me. And some people are going to be like, hey, I want to learn how to generate leads so I can close those deals myself and get fat spreads and do the thing. No problem. And some of you will want to learn this skill set and then work within an ecosystem where you can have lead opportunities provided for you. That's the benefit of what's coming together fully now with Dealmakers Academy. So I'm really excited. Thank you for asking that question, Jordan. That gives me something to share about. I feel like you get stuck during the call, so you downloaded some scripts. Okay, well, first off, I got some scripts for you as well. Another thing that would be beneficial, I think, and Aaliyah, you can help me align this, is getting some call recordings from the call center. Keep in mind, guys, we have VAs, which I really hate the term VA. I hate the term virtual assistant. We have cold callers. We have call center agents out in Egypt, right, that are calling into the United States with English as their second language, and they are able to set appointments and get leads, which I think it's valuable for you to listen to some of those calls because of two things. You'll realize that you don't have to know the whole process in order to generate leads and set appointments. They don't need to. They're not trained on the whole process. They're trained on the front side. So I think it will also give you confidence to understand that if they can do this, so can you, right? So it's not some complex thing. The real biggest thing is going to be about confidence. You have the advantage of feeling more like you have more in common, right? As a potential homeowner, they don't know who you are on the other side of this phone call. So just get into it. Yes, I want you to have a script as a structure to follow, but I don't want you to worry about getting stuck on your script. What I want you to understand, Jordan, here as we continue to roll on this, is that your job is to accomplish certain things in this phone call. If you have an outline of what those things are and you understand what bullet points you need to cover on this call, then you can have the confidence to have a fluid conversation, right? Like you're not trying to read through a script and follow it straight down and talk them into something. What you're trying to do is get them to open up enough to speak to you and then say, okay, these are the 4 primary pillars that I need to cover to make sure I can help you. And if I can help you, then we'll discuss what that looks like from there, right? And then take a deep breath, right? Another thing I want to tell you is that the people on the other side of the phone, listen, everybody listen closely here. They're not that smart. And I don't mean that in any negative way. I don't mean they're dumb. What I mean is They don't know real estate any better than you do. 9 out of 10 of them. I promise you. Because most people don't learn about real estate. You want to know I know this? Because I've had conversations with many, many real estate agents that don't know shit about real estate. They're just order takers. They don't know anything about what's actually happening in that process of real estate. So if the real estate agent doesn't even know, what is really the odds that the just random homeowner Joe Blow knows anything about real estate? Right? So a lot of times people are like, I'm so worried that they're going to hit me with something that I don't know. So what? The likelihood of that, first off, is low. And if they do, this is where you get to lean on being new. Okay, don't worry. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Guys, this is how you get out of any corner that you talk yourself into on a call that you don't know the answer to. Ready? I'm going to give you the out every time. Mr. Homeowner, I would not want to tell you an answer that was wrong. So what I would like to do is get an answer from somebody on my team that is actually an expert that knows this, right? My job here is just to cover this, this, and that. But I would love to get you connected. By the way, you're just taking from I don't know the answer to I'm going to set an appointment, right? Ready? I would like to set you up with a time to talk to somebody who can really answer this and any other questions that you have that I'm not prepared to answer. Does that sound fair? And then shut up. You got to finish with that question or some comparable question, right? Does that sound fair? Because they're going to give you a commitment, right? Because it does sound fair. Would anybody in their right mind want you to give them the wrong answer for the sake of telling it to me right now? Do you think that the homeowner is going to be like, no, 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 you tell me now, or I don't want to talk? And if they are, guys, then that guy's just a jackass and he's not somebody that's really going to move forward anyway. So like if they're going to hit you that way, say, okay, you know what? Sounds like I'm not going to be of help for you. Have a great day and on to the next one. But the likelihood of them saying, no, that doesn't sound fair, tell me now is so minutely low. So instead of worrying about that being an issue, focus on the relationship that you're building. Listen, Chelsea just jumped in here. Yes, Chelsea, if you ask Elliot, he has the booking link. Chelsea just jumped in here. The reason why I love Chelsea is because much like me, we learn on the fly, right? So when we first got into real estate, she didn't know anything either, right? So I'm just like, hey, jump on this, watch these PACE videos, talk to people, set appointments, and I'm going to figure it out. And she's like, what, G? And I'm like, just do it. And so we did it. And she's like learning on the fly. But you know what? She was still able to generate leads and actually have real opportunities that came only because once she started talking to somebody, she was able to build rapport. She was able to get them talking. Half the time, it wasn't even about real estate. It wasn't about the one property or whatever, right? But in the conversation, she's building rapport. And once that trust is built, again, I'm going to circle back to somebody else can bring you the next steps of the process. So you get them that far and then say, hey, you know what? I want to get you the right answer. Let me get Garrett or someone from the team on with you. And then, they'll be able to go much deeper with you and get you a full offer or whatever verbiage you want to go through. We're going to do power hours and stuff, and we will actually train you more specifically on a script to follow. But I just want you to see that the pressure that we put on ourselves behind these calls, these cold outreaches, like it's only in your own mind. It's only in your own mind. The pressure is not really coming from the other side of the phone. Let's see, there's Williams. Thanks. Can you send me the link to your Facebook, send the recordings? Man, that was good. Get on a roll talking about something I'm good at. It's cold calling and outreach, right? So Jordan, I don't know if you can chat with the mic. Does that give you some guidance on the cold calling? Let's see if she's able to chat while I take a drink. Yes, great. Great to hear. Great to hear. Let's see. Anybody else got some questions or comments, thoughts? Scott, I see you jumped in here, man. How you doing, bro? Can you talk?
Yeah, I was on mute. Yeah, all good, man. Just listening and learning,
There you go.
Dropping some gems over here.
Yeah, you been having any good lead conversations this week? How's things been going?
Any good what? Any good lead conversations?
Yeah, you working on some deals?
Yeah, I'm trying to get one locked up here today. I don't have a new one under contract today. Everything I locked up is currently assigned
Nice. That's good.
EMD came in, escrow's open and stuff. You were talking a few minutes ago about, just having the conversations, right? Not necessarily the dials or, the hits, but the quality conversations. And the way I do my lead generation might be, different from the next person, but I have to be careful of the amount of conversations that I take. After a few weeks of not locking up a deal, I realized, wow, I had a lot of lengthy conversations here where I'm really, educating agents, right? I do, direct to agent primarily. A lot of agent education where, they're not really ready to move forward on a transaction like this, right? They don't know enough of it. So just weeding out, filtering the amount and having better conversations. I'd rather have 3, 5, or 10 quality conversations than 25 or 50 that these agents want to speak to you as soon as you send them an offer. So I just try to weed through those a little bit better, filter through those a little bit better, just make sure I'm having the right conversations and not
Right.
getting out before noon.
Right. And that's another thing I kind of mentioned earlier is, it's the right conversations are far more important than just the number of conversations.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will get bogged down, and also another thing that people do, not only just a number of calls, but also spending, and this is a little bit different for you, working direct to agent, but they'll get on with a seller and spend an hour and a half or an hour or 45 minutes even on the first initial call or whatever. They'll just let the set, they won't know how to disconnect, right? And they won't know how to exit the phone call. So one thing I also learned in having to make so many calls early in my career was you have to know when to get off the phone. You have to know when to disqualify a lead. So that's another thing that's equally as important that I think a lot of people struggle with is like, they're trying so hard. And this kind of leads to another talking point here, guys, is you cannot, and you don't ever want to come across as desperate in this situation. You got to understand that we're supposed to be the solution to their problem. And you don't want to come across like you're the desperate one with a problem. So we want to have that air of, I'm here to help you. Not, I really need this deal to go through because I got to pay my rent, right? Like, and I get that. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. That's no discredit to being in that situation in your life because I have been there many, many times. But specifically when you're getting into this scenario, one thing I would recommend is taking a few minutes beforehand and clearing your mind, right? So for me, I generally do that through meditation to get my little woo-woo for the day, right? I generally will spend a few minutes to sit still, close my eyes, right? And visualize what I'm trying to accomplish as I'm about to step into it, right? So athletes do this. They're going to visualize performance. They're going to, see themselves execute the play at the highest level. All top performers all over the place are going to take this time, right? And in that, one thing that I do, I actually do this in my daily meditation each morning. I have what I call an energy conversion box that I see in my mind, right? It's a gold box with a gold lid. You can open it up, right? You put inside the box, again, this is all happening in my mind, all of the things that don't serve me, right? All of the energies that I don't want to focus on or I don't want to allow into my train of thought or my existence. I'm going to put in any negative energies that I've been attacked externally, stresses, maybe it's financial pressures, maybe it's relationship pressures, whatever it is. I'm going to put it in the box, right? And I'm going to close the box. And when the box is closed, it begins to convert to positive energy. But the benefit is it's over there. It's not up here anymore. Now I can step in, and this is why meditation is so crucial to my day every single day, because now I can step into my day full of an infinite amount of pressures. Like if you guys actually understood all the things that I am responsible for and had to be responsible for, you would hate it. 9 out of 10 people. I love it. I love what I do. I love who I am. Most people would be crushed by the weight, right? If I didn't take the time to clear all of those stresses out of my brain first, it would be hard for me to get here and lead you guys, right? Or get on any sales calls from my side of things when we're selling marketing services or as we're bringing in sponsors for the academy or whatever. If I'm stressing about, oh, I got this bill paid, or oh, I got this thing coming, or oh, I got that, I can't possibly fully be where I am in the moment, right? So you really have to learn how to set some of that stuff aside and focus, right? And then you can have such a better energy in your calls and you will be so much more successful, right? You'll get better vibrations back in because you're putting out better things. So take that stuff and set it to the side. So yeah, guys, get me on a roll. I'll start running down the meditation stuff all day. I see my man Jared finally made it in here. What's up, brother? How are you?
Hey, what's up, G Money?
How you doing, my man?
Man, I was trying to join on my laptop, but couldn't really get it going. I don't know what's going on, but
All
at least
good.
I'm just on my phone now.
You're here now. That's all that matters. That's all that
Yep.
matters. I know you've been wanting to get this Facebook Bandit strategy. So I wanted to get you in here so that I could talk about it. We could teach everybody else again, because it's definitely going to be one of the things that we hold everybody accountable to on the academy side of things. So do you guys know what a bandit sign is in the real estate terminology? Anybody know what a bandit sign is? Somebody? No.
And it's what they put in the front yard whenever you're trying to sell a house.
There we go. Jordan, you got your hand raised? What you got, Jordan? Nope. Accidental hand raise. Just kidding. So a bandit sign, yes, you're right there, Jared. A bandit sign is a term that they use for signs that they will put at intersections of roads. Generally, they do it only on the weekends when code enforcement is gone, because they'll rip it up, right? So you're a bandit. You're not supposed to put them there. So it's the little signs, they're white. It's got written on it, just in handwritten letters, like we buy houses and stuff like that, just the phone number. That is called a bandit sign, right? What our Facebook Bandit strategy is very simple. We're going to take that same principle, right? But instead of local road intersections, we're going to place our signs at intersections of homeowners in our local market and places where they spend time, i.e. Facebook groups, right? So we're going to go into our local markets, wherever that may be, and we're going to search things like buy, sell, trade groups, garage sale groups, neighborhood or community watch groups, community trade groups, all kinds of things like this, right? And there's a large list, and really there's no limitation to where you can put this sign other than the rules of each individual group. But outside of that, it's up to you, right? So one of the things that I tell people to start with is start at a state level, then go to a county level, city level, and more the town level. So for example, I grew up in North Carolina, so I would start with North Carolina homeowners, right? Then I would go to Charlotte, Mecklenburg County, right? So Mecklenburg County homeowners, Mecklenburg County garage sale, whatever, those kind of groups. And then I'm going to search the city of Charlotte, okay? And then I'm going to go down another step where maybe I'm going to search into Matthews, right? Which is a smaller town within the greater Charlotte area, right? So the smaller I go, the smaller the group will be. And the thing about the Facebook Bandit strategy here is that the smaller the group, the higher likelihood of conversion. Because what you're doing as you step down is you're separating yourself from other people that are too lazy. I'm not the first person to talk about this and teach you guys the strategy. This is nothing proprietary. Actually, Garen has crushed this strategy over the years. Many people have, right? But the difference is, if you go into these top level groups, you'll see other people trying to do the same stuff. They're going to drop their posts. They're going to try to generate leads, whatever. But the further down you go, the more steps you take, the less other people are willing to take. So the more you separate yourself. And so the smaller the group, the better engagement. And what you're going to do is post something in the group that is, the colorful post that you can do on Facebook, like a red background or whatever. And it's going to say something pretty simple, honestly. You don't want to put a bunch of words, right? Because think about the bandit sign at the road intersection. There's not a bunch of words on it. People are driving by. They can't look at it. You just want them to catch the point. Same thing is happening, but they're just scrolling by instead, right? So they're going to come by. They might see this. You want to be able to catch their attention in a fast enough time to stop their scroll and get an engagement. That's what your job is. So bright color, short call to action. Local investor looking for my next flip property. I pay referral fees if you know anybody that's selling. Boom. I'm not asking necessarily for the sale of any sort. I'm asking for a referral, right? So people are going to scroll by this. And I promise you, people say, oh, well, what do I say to this? And what do I need to put in the post? I'm like, yo, it's literally not hard, right? I got a team that I'm working on a partnership with, Abul out in India. He basically runs a comparable strategy, but I'm trying to teach him how to do it better like we are trying to do it and not just so bulk messaging. But even where they start at, they make a post, they do this, and they get responses. And I'm talking about like one that sticks into my mind. They made the post and somebody comments on it and says, "Oh, there's a house behind the Walmart on Blase Blah Street that's for sale. You should check it out. The owner died and the son's trying to get rid of it." And they responded and said, "We would just need the address and contact info to reach the owner." And she dropped my man's contact, his phone number right there in the comments on the Facebook post. I mean, like, that's simple, like that's simple. It's literally not any more complex than that. Like you post it, people will respond, you nurture and manage the leads. That's it. Like get them on a phone, get them on a phone call, then run the 4 pillars discovery. So like the thing about it is just don't overcomplicate it. So many people try to like make it more complicated than it is. Put the sign in the Facebook ground, so to speak. Let them respond back to you. When someone expressed interest, what's your next step? Jump on a phone call. That's it. Jump on a phone call, run your 4-pillar discovery. If it's a lead that's worth actually making an offer to, you'll pretty much know that. You bring it backwards. We help you frame an offer, bring a closer in as needed. Boom. This is how you make a deal, right? So that's Jared. Hopefully gives you a rundown. I'm sure you might have some questions. You want to get some feedback on that? Let me know.
No, I was just overcomplicating it basically. I just want to know exactly what to say, and I know it's easy to get kicked out of some of these groups. So
That is true. That is true. So another point to add about that is that you don't want to be spammy, right? And this is why it's important to grab a lot of or join a lot of groups, because you want to be able to put posts out daily, but you don't want to do it at the same intersection every day, because then you're like, damn, this guy's in here every day trying to just post this shit, right? You want to actually be able to find different groups in different places. And you also want to be able to rotate so that if you think about it, if I'm in 3 local groups in a certain area, there's a likelihood that there's many other people that are also in those same 3 groups. So I don't want to post in those same 3 groups at the same time every time, So like I want to find maybe Matthews, North Carolina, and then I'll find Concord, North Carolina, right? Now, maybe one day I post 1 in Matthews, 1 in Concord, 1 in South End, right? Instead of posting 3 in each area at one time. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Yeah. So you don't want to be spammy with it. And then also another thing that you can help build your value in that community is spend a little bit of time in that Facebook group, right? Comment on some things, like some posts, make your face relevant, make your name relevant, at least only slightly, for 2 reasons. First off, even if you don't know it, the more people see you there, the more they're building trust with you. Even if they don't know it, the more they see you there, the more they see you present, the more they build a subconscious trust with you. So when the time comes that you have a conversation, then you already are coming from a little bit higher level because you're not some cold stranger and you're looking and feeling much more like a real human being. And then secondly, the value being that the algorithm, specifically on Facebook, all of these social platforms, will then push that to show to other people, right? And like, so when you engage with somebody's post, they're going to show your post to them, right? And vice versa. And so it's going to really allow more reach on what you're doing. What's up, Will?
So I didn't hear the beginning part of what you guys were talking about, but I'm assuming Jared, he was talking about like how to be more involved in the groups or how to get activities from like social groups and posting, right?
Yeah, homeowner groups. Yeah, how to generate leads via cold outreach in homeowner groups.
Okay, so another thing you can do is just leverage Garrett and his community too, right? For example, if there's a specific problem that somebody might have, lead with value first. Hit up Garrett, hit up myself, that might know a lot of people if they're dealing with foreclosure or something, a specific question or attorney issue. We can probably find somebody to refer you. This way it makes us look good because we are making a referral for a client, and then you're solving people's problems. So you lead with value first, and this way the algorithm will pick up very, very fast. You're going to start building rapport with these people very, very quickly, and they're going to want to kind of gravitate towards you and start tagging you in posts as well. And when you start making, it's kind of like the, what's it called? Gary V. What was it like? Was it something like swing, like something?
Jab, hook.
right? So it's
Yeah.
like value, and then you ask. It becomes very easy. Like what Garrett does a lot is he brings a lot of value. He's like, hey, I have leads. Who can want to close, right? A lot of these like wholesale groups, a lot of wholesalers, the main problem is the marketing side of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? They don't have leads. They don't have they want people to connect with to be even, to make an offer. They don't even get to offer point. So when Garrett comes into the group and he says, hey guys, I have all these leads, I have no time to handle it. That's value. So now everybody's getting gravitated towards him and myself. That's how I got into these groups fairly quickly and made a name for myself. So
for sure. I mean, that's why we connected. You were exactly what you're talking about. You did that. That's why I first reached out to you the first time. I've been seeing you in multiple groups and in multiple places. So that's actually a great point, William. Thank you for that, because again, I often have a malleable role in what I do, right? So from lead generation, like I am a closer by nature, but in the real estate space, I'm not necessarily a closer. So like I have all of these skills. And what it comes down to for me, it ends up being connecting. So like, how do I connect for people? So early on in your journey, you might not be super strong at closing, but if you're good at talking to people and you can go find people and then bring them back and connect them to whatever your network begins to be, you're going to find deals and do deals off of just knowing people. And like, that's so valuable. I think that people overlook that. It's like, go lead with value, exactly like you're talking about. Hey, I saw your post that you need an EMD lender. Okay, boom. Now what do? You come back. Hey, G, I got somebody that needs EMD funding. Okay, no problem. Got it. Get it done. Send me the deal information. We'll look through it and we'll get it funded if so. Now you get paid on that. All you had to do was go find somebody's problem and solve it. You already know that we'll help supply all of these services. Everybody that listens and talks or is in the group knows that we really are helping with every service that real estate investors need. At this point, I have partnered with somebody to help fulfill that on, right? Whether that means under their brand identity or under Dealmakers, we have every solution in alignment for you, whatever you need, right? So basically, look at this like you come plug into what we got going on, and now you can leverage all of the networking connections that we already have, and we become much more like a net or a connector agency or a connector team or community. Like I'm not going to get on seller calls with y'all and like break down how to do that. I will give you some of the best closers ever. William can help you guys do that even better than I can. But what I will do is supply the resources. So you can jump on Garen's training Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Most weeks, Garen does a training. He's out on the West Coast. So it is it's 6 p.m. Pacific, so 9 p.m. Eastern time. He does a training. We've got all kinds of leaders that are doing sales trainings. There's so many people that I can connect you to that are better at that than me, right? So all I got to do is connect you to them and let them be the expert, and then we all win together, right? So lead generation is one piece of it. Closing the deals is one piece of it. Go find ways to connect and lead with value, build a reputation of leading with value and helping people. And then in turn, like William said, people will tag you and stuff. People tag me and stuff daily. People send me deal opportunities and stuff, all because for the past 120 days or so, I have been heavily present in every imaginable Facebook group that you could find for real estate investors. That's why we began to build what we have here. And so definitely take these and implement them into your own strategies here, right? So one key thing I'll say here to differentiate for all of you a bit is that you've got investor groups and you've got homeowner groups, right? So investor groups, you want to lead with value, you want to problem solve, you want to do all these things that we discussed here. On the homeowner groups, you want to be more, I don't want to say necessarily vague, but vague, right? Like you want to post your sign and you want to let them come back into you, because what you're trying to do is get an inbound lead, somebody that says, hey, I've got this, or hey, I'm interested in selling. Hey, I know somebody that's selling. And then you want to quickly get that offline, right? Get them in the DMs. If it's native for them to message you via DMs, listen, close the deal over DMs, okay? Not really close the deal, but like get the lead and get the appointment set over the DMs, right? I would say as quickly as you can, if you can, get on a phone call with them, run your discovery process, right? So what you don't want to do is run your discovery process in public on that Facebook group. I want to identify that, right? Because if you're like asking all those questions in public, two things happen. First off, it's not the visual you want on your bandit sign. You want ease, right? You want smooth reading, click through, go through, right? The second thing is other people are going to see that. And if any other investor running this same strategy sees all of that there, you're going to give away all your cards and somebody else is going to hit them up, right? So like you really want to avoid getting the contact info in a public comment section where somebody else can run with it or whatever. You want to pull them to the DMs, get what you need to, get on a call, push it forward. So that's the Facebook bandit strategy broken all the way down. Naomi Holmes, nice to see you. How have, or at least hear from you at least. Let me see if I
Hey,
can.
bro.
How are you doing?
Man, I'm still hanging in there like a loose tooth. These kids is giving me a run for my money. This their last week of school before fall break. So next week I'll be killing it. I won't have any distractions. I love this conversation that you guys are having, you and Will. The only word I'd add to that is neighbor, because this is what I think about when I hear about bandit sides. You see these in your neighborhood, right? And so when you're in these community groups, you want to be like a neighbor. So like say when you're commenting on other people's posts, it's like looking over the fence, like, hey neighbor, you know. And when you're posting stuff, you're wanting to say something along the lines of helping the community. So for me personally, because I do have a passion for the community that I live in, and this is the market that I've chosen, children, please. I would say something to the effect that if you know a homeowner in distress, I can help. Another post that I would have is, something to the effect of helping people who can't buy traditionally get into a home. If you know someone, if you or someone you know is looking for a rent to own situation. So now what you're doing essentially is you're building up a wait list of people who will want properties that you can sell to them on creative terms. I know this is probably next level, jumping ahead a little bit. But at the end of the day, just know that like Will and Garrett are saying, you're solving a problem for somebody. And so that's the language, that's the verbiage. So I can help a distressed homeowner sell fast. Hit me up in the DMs, right? I don't even want you talking on under my post, okay? Because like you said, you do too much talking, folks get to see your strategy. So, if I can help you or someone you know in a distressed situation, hit me in the DMs, right?
Yes.
Or an email address or whatever the case may be. But yeah, love the conversation. Just picture as neighbors. You're a neighbor. You're in the community, and you want to provide solutions.
Always dropping gems on us, Naomi. Thank you. That's so true. And that's the difference in mindset between sales and dollar sign driven versus people and care driven, right? That's the biggest difference. You heard me talk about it from a sales perspective. She talked about it from a helping perspective. And I will tell to you guys right now, hers sounds way better. In full honesty, like, yes, will this work? Yes, it works for people, but the more you engage in what exactly as she just said, that was so good, Naomi. Thank you. Actually, being a neighbor in these neighborhood groups is what's going to make those signs convert better for you. So that was really awesome. Thank you.
I literally say that when I'm cold calling people. I'd be like, "Hey, this is your neighbor Naomi. How you doing?" Real quick, I seen your house on 123 Main Street, and I'm with the mayor. We're trying to reinvent the neighborhood. Was wondering if you had any interest in selling that thing. Oh no, okay. You got any other properties? Well, listen, I love giving referral fees. So if you or somebody you know needs to sell in the future, would you mind keeping my information? Okay, I want to be the neighborhood go-to girl, anything real estate. You have a wonderful day. Boom, in and out.
Love it. Love it. Love it. That's spot on. And especially guys, for y'all that are early on, like, you got to lean in on that, right? If you try to lean in on being the real estate expert that you're not, you're going to end up screwing yourself. Instead, be a people person and get people to like you, right? Like I said earlier a little bit, real estate agents really don't know what's going on. People just like them, right? This is why, like, for the lack of a better way to put it, pretty people tend to become real estate agents, because then, like, that's how they get business. People are drawn to them. Hey, that's how you get business. They're not like really real estate experts. So just be that, if nothing else. Get people to like you, get people to rock with it. Appreciate you, Will. We're getting ready to tie up here, man. Thank you for stopping by. Take care. But yeah, so just be a neighbor, be friendly, get people talking, get conversations started, lead with value in any way that you can. Look through. You might be able to just answer somebody's question. Hey, who's looking for a local roofing contractor? Maybe you got your roof replaced and you got somebody to refer. Maybe you got a handyman that you know that can help solve somebody else's problem. Or maybe you got a recipe for sweet potato pie that Shorty's looking for that you can drop on her. You know what I'm saying? Go help somebody. And then you'll just be another neighbor. And the next time you post that, it'll be a less salesy approach. So Naomi, thank you for dropping that because that was definitely needed. And I'm actually going to use that to tie up. That's really the extent of the Facebook bandit strategy. You got the care and giving strategy that is really going to be the better route to lean. And you got a more generic bandit post, right? So there's your two routes. Guys, I'm excited. I know I say this a lot. It's been some crazy times recently, some headaches, some hurdles, but at the end of the day, we stay aligned with where we're headed. I could not be like more grateful for where we are and all the pieces that are a part of it currently. So those of you that are a part of the next round of, or maybe really, I guess it's the first round, true round of Dealmakers students, you will be receiving contact from either myself, probably Anna, or the both of us, some combination of that from the CRM and from her directly outreaching with all of the students to get fully onboarded for next week. The texting tool, thank everything that is good in the world, is working. And so we're going to get this thing pushing finally the way that it's supposed to after a long, hard road. But we are getting it moving, guys. So I appreciate you all hanging with me, sticking out for another hour today on Friday. I'll be back again Monday at 12, and we'll be back every day moving forward unless otherwise noticed. So until then, guys, have a great weekend. Go close some deals and let's get money together. Y'all have a great one.